All right, welcome back. I'm here with Kristen Graham. Kristen, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Al. How are you?
I'm doing real well. Thanks for joining me today. I mean, we met a few years ago. I remember I used your tool, took a video. I got all excited, and here you are. You're still, cracking on, and it seems that you're, making waves in this space. So look forward to learning about what you're doing, how it's evolved. So if you would introduce yourself more about what you're going to talk about. I'm going to disappear, and we'll come back in 15, 20 minutes or so and have a chat about it. Sound good?
Thanks, Al.
Enjoy.
So hello, everyone. Welcome to the final session, coming to you live from Melbourne, Australia. And it's finally stopped raining. Probably, we've got a few millimetres today, which will probably cause some flooding somewhere around the country. Today, we're changing gears a little bit in the final session, and we're going to be talking, or I'm going to be talking about how to make employee-generated video happen, the metrics behind it, and some of the benefits. So it's kind of taking a little bit away from people analytics, but I do believe that the importance of humanising the tech stack within your organisation today, especially considering the current environment, is super important. So I'm the co-founder and VP of growth for Video My Job, and we're a platform. Just going to change to the next slide. We're a software platform that makes all of the activity around creating and publishing your own videos, whether they're for recruitment purposes or otherwise, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, way easier than the traditional types of videoing that you get, whether it's selfie style, and everyone's got a phone these days that takes video. There's no governance around it, no quality controls, right through to a digital agency that, obviously costs a bomb, takes a long time to produce, and is highly polished, yet not necessarily authentic or engaging. So we kind of sit in the middle. We believe we're democratizing scaling of employee-generated video. We've been around for around 5 years, coming up to 5 years, and our platform's created thousands of videos. And on average, those users are taking around 21 minutes to create or plan, film, edit, upload, ready to approve for publishing in 21 minutes. So our mobile app helps it really easy to publish videos, such as a job ad. And given the time, or given the need of less production, but more professional versus perfect, we say, we really do believe that the most proudest moment of our platform is the beautiful brands that we've got using our product around the world, and the way they're engaging with not only their talent that are interested in joining their organisation, but also their employees, and the way they've started to innovate with the use of video. So video versus text, so looking at this example from one of our amazing customers, Dynatrace, is that a simple LinkedIn post can really increase the engagement around your video or your content. So it's unquestionable that video is engaging people in a different way, and you're giving them that insights and believability or transparency of your employee voice. And all the tech around the candidate journey, whether it's through emails or through social media like YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, we believe that relying on these touch points will create a better humanised approach to engaging your talent that's outside of your organisation or internal, your employees. But there's two problems that we kind of come up against in rolling out employee-generated content, and that's getting employees on camera, so the shyness. But in the age of today, we're sitting here on a virtual conference, we're in more and more Zoom calls, and I know of companies that have also got KPIs in place to make sure you have your camera on. We're in the age of TikTok, and people are certainly becoming more comfortable on camera. So we believe that we have been in front of the curve with regards to employee video content or employee-generated video content, but I believe that the industry is really catching up, and we're seeing a lot of use cases. So getting on camera is one issue that we run against. The other one is having a strategy and rolling out that strategy and having the right metrics to measure the success, and making sure you've got really clear use case in place that you're going to, test and learn within your organisation. So a few years back, we pivoted to not just be a video job ad production technology platform, but to be your in-house videographer. It's a DIY solution, and we're starting to see clients start to use our solution to create videos right across the employee lifecycle, whether it's for your employer brand space, whether it's for your recruitment marketing outreach, whether it's for your employee engagement, like short learning bites, or executive comms. So sharing updates regularly from your executives and being on camera with live is obviously great, but not everyone. Just now we're all dialing in from all parts of the world. So asynchronous video where you can really prepare your message but get it out there quite quickly and on brand. And yeah, welcome videos, whether it's happy birthday videos, lots of different types of opportunity. And this concept of the video flywheel is empowering your team and employees to create, professional production style, but not polished. And we believe that reducing this really just democratises and drives a better engagement overall. And I think when we look at all the different use cases available to you in your organisation, there's an opportunity to start with one potential use case and then grow. And the data suggests so far that the more use cases that you have in your organisation with employee-generated content, the faster your team or organisation is going to adopt to video and the new ways of communicating a message, whatever that is. Could be sales outreach, learning and development, customer testimonials. There's lots that you can do on video. The sooner that you'll really start to reap the benefits of using video in your organisation. So foundations for success, we believe there's 4 key areas to consider when scaling employee-generated video. Number 1 is your company brand is important. It needs to be protected. So having the ability to lock down your company branding, first and foremost, is really important. The other aspect of employee-generated content is making sure that there's some sort of approval process before the content goes out publicly. Having that control and governance in place for those 2 areas will really help your marketing teams be happy and tick that box there, but it'll also give you confidence to really start to scale out accordingly. Number 2, having collaborative production, given we're in remote working environments, having the ability to have remote editing, getting employees on camera really quickly and easily, but ensuring production quality. So things like teleprompter scripts, so you can create a video plan and capture a teleprompter script. So your employee just has to click a button, film their piece, and then send it back to your editor within your organisation. And also having asset library that is got pre-approved assets when editing your video. These sort of things really certainly help with the production elements. Number 3, upskilling. Today's teams, like we're all, whether we're a hiring manager or we're an individual contributor, our personal brand is super important for our own career, but it's also super important for our employer's brand, the awareness of that employer brand, but also if you're a hiring manager, it's super important to start to attract talent that you want to work for your within your team. And we all have networks. They're all very different to each other. And so it's important to keep up to date with vlogging, all the content that's been presented today, short stories on what that content is in a 60, 90-second video can really support your employer brand for so many other reasons, but also your personal brand. So upskilling your team on what type of content, vlogs, candidate nurture videos, welcome to the team videos, and then, if it's job ads that you're looking to create, how to structure that script and ensuring that it starts with a hook, then the what's in it for me, and then the call to action. So yeah, all of those upskilling requirements are really needed in today's environment. And then the last one, focus on authenticity. Evidence suggests that employee generated is so much more engaging and believable than corporate polish. So empower your employees to show up as themselves. I've got a few examples here, and some will be relevant to you, some won't be, but the first one's Australia Post. Now, those Aussies on the call today, we know the importance of Australia Post. Every single candidate is their customer as well as, same as UPS, I suppose, in the US. And it's really important that they're ensuring that their candidates have got a second to none candidate experience throughout the recruitment workflow. But what they pivoted on is being able to increase their gender gap or improve the gender gap in their logistics business. So they were able to go to market with a big budget video that captured all their female employees truck driving. And then through the process of recruitment, they were able to retain female applicants by sharing bite-sized information around the rewards and benefits of working for Australia Post. So stories about being able to pick up their kids from school, being able to be really well supported to get their heavy truck driving license and things like that. So this was really helpful in the way of improving engagement, but also experience and the gender gap. COTY, for those of you who know COTY, they're a very small team, but they've got a huge consumer brand. They're beauty manufacturers like Max Factor. So it's imperative that they focus on the candidate experience. So they used, rather than accept 8,000, normally they'd get 8,000 applicants for one graduate position. So small team, they wanted to change things up. So they put a video out there to hack your internship, and the candidates need to reply to three questions about how would they pitch and promote their new product. Over a 2-week period, they got 30 applications. 30, not 30,000, but 30, which is incredible from 8,000, but all while maintaining, the video had something like, a couple of 100,000 views across all their social channels. So it was very, a nice way to go out to market, improve that candidate experience, touch points, and have a great result. They actually hired 5 applicants instead of the 1 grad because the quality was really up there. Sainsbury's, some of you will know and love Sainsbury's, largest supermarket chain in the UK. They didn't necessarily have typical metrics. So a lot of our customers, we really speak to them about the importance of measuring the impact of video, because it's actually quite hard to measure video, and you need to start to think about lead and lag indicators to suggest that you're on the right path. Whereas Sainsbury's, they're just a video-first company, very used to video, and they wanted to empower their executive leaders through an employer brand change, shift and feel of the orange logo going to a black digital tech and data team. They wanted to show up in the industry as a bit different and not wanting to be known as the supermarket retail chain they are. So their leaders showed up on camera getting storytelling about, what they were doing day to day, and not only had it an impact internally in the organisation to share the new employer brand, but they also started to share it externally and got some really good insights to candidate attraction through that channel alone. And Siemens, one of our largest customers, largest, but also long-term customers. And top of mind for Siemens was reaching passive candidates, increasing the marketing skills of their recruiters, living the Siemens brand of innovation, and also improving typical metrics around time to fill, quality of hire, cost of hire, things like that. What they didn't expect was the candidate experience. Candidate experience went through the roof. Engagement went through the roof. Candidates were spending 4 minutes longer on a job ad when they were driven from a video, which was really, really interesting. And they're now going down the path of measuring performance reviews and how that video impacted their ability to perform greater within their first 6 months. So really interesting sort of stuff that's happening in the employee-generated video space. But the tip that Siemens would give to you is that if you're rolling out video globally or nationally, whatever it is, have an owner to drive video in your organisation. Gain leadership buy-in, because it just makes things easier when you've got that leadership ready to show up on camera as well. Early adopters, pick and choose people who love video, who love social media. They can really support that rollout of those early stages of building video into your processes. And have a clear use case. We spoke about a lot of different use cases. There's an opportunity to really, go big with video. So if you're interested, we do have a PAFOW special today, so you can get inspired by looking at some of our Talent Blazer series. You can get advice, so spend some time with me getting a readiness check. And then if that readiness check gives you the inspiration you want to get started, we're giving away a free plan, which will give you 10 videos and an hour's training session for your local or whoever that driver is within your business. And yeah, away you go. So that's me done, Al. Thanks for joining, and happy to answer any questions that might be on the audience's mind.
Kristen, thank you. And before I go into questions, I just want to show you something that for some reason I am somehow really proud of. And you can tell it's weathered. I feel like this is like an original somehow. But in any event, just the elegance in the way that you talk about your value proposition, I see that has evolved. And I have a bunch of questions, some tactical, some more, say, creative. So people can do this on their own devices, correct?
Yes.
They can use it on their own devices. They do a video, they edit it on the device itself, yes? Okay. Then they share it from that device to, if I saw correctly, whatever platform they choose that's connected to the app, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We give you all the file formats, but instead of, you could roll out for example, you might have a handful of producers within your organisation, and all the rest of your employees have just got a light version. All they're doing is contributing video content to your producer's asset file. So you can roll out with the different permission layers within your organisation. So a hiring manager doesn't have to worry about the editing. All they're doing is getting on camera, filming their bit, and then giving it back to the person who has requested that footage from them. Yeah. So it's
okay. And because I'm trying to, so what's the average duration? And I imagine it depends, but do you have any feel or recommendation on that front?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the US alone, there's 5 billion videos watched every day just on YouTube.
Wow.
So that's a lot of videos. But guess what the average watch time is?
Low.
8 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wasn't going to go that low, but yeah.
So super important to get straight into the hook of your video and talk about what the video is about. And it'll give you a much better opportunity to really ensure that those viewers that are relevant will stay on and watch the what's in it for me.
Right.
But we recommend anywhere between 60 and 90 seconds. Our platform can create a video up to an hour if you want.
Okay.
But that's a lot of content. It's actually quite hard to do. So we really believe in short, sharp learning bites or messages that are relevant to your audience that you're pushing it to.
So I'm going to stretch a little bit. This is kind of the creative part, and you can shut me down or say, "Oh, you're crazy." So one of the things that we have long talked about in the people analytics discipline is data-driven storytelling. And if you look at the book Switch, which is right there by Dan and Chip Heath, they have story after story about how to create an emotional response. You know, they talk about the rider and the elephant, the rider being the cognitive self, the elephant being the emotional self. The emotional self is more powerful at the end of the day, yet with a data-driven decision-making, we're like, okay, here's this pie chart, here's this graph, you know, here's this pretty picture, without being really attentive to the emotional response. So my own narrative, you can probably see where I'm going with this, you know, is there an opportunity to package insights in very consumable ways? Because one of the things we long talked about, we have these presentations and they have a life of their own. And oftentimes we're not aware of it. And even if we are aware of it, it either has a short shelf life or the message gets diluted very quickly. You know, in other words, like playing telephone in 4th grade. So if we're creating a video asset that we have more control of the narrative, so to speak, then it could, you know, have more benefit. It could get more uptake than a dashboard that disappears or a report that disappears. So I'm certainly in the explore mode right now, but just based on that little idea, I mean, would that be an appropriate application, you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the analytics that we'll drive from our platform is just touching the surface from an engagement and a behaviour perspective. So we can start to see how people have watched the first 8 seconds and then skip to the call to action, for example. Or they've, you know, if it's an internal message, how, you know, 90% of your audience has actually watched the entire message, which is really important for change managers within a business when they are pushing out a message, and that, you know, especially if it's compliance related sort of content, that that visual, authentic face, talking head, along with metrics and data and interesting visuals, can really support someone to sit there and listen in a greater way than they could reading an email. So it's only early days there, but we are certainly seeing correlation between the engagement and behaviour of a video versus the result or the call to action click that happens at the end of the video. Those more engaging and the use cases that are clear, if the content's quite clear and structured really well and not too many messages in the one video, it's important. So, well,
yeah, I'm going to investigate this further, selfishly and on behalf of the broader community, because I'm trying to fast forward, you know, over the coming months and years, and I don't see a reason why this would not be imminent. Because it is, to your point, how people are consuming information, and particularly as younger people become less young, you know, they're still going to have these habits around consuming content in that way. So it's a curious exploration. I think you're in a, you know, great place. So, you know, again, congratulations on what you've done, because I know you've been chopping wood at this for, you know, quite a number of years now, as evidenced by the card. And anything, you know, final thoughts, and how can people learn more about Video My Job and you?
Yeah, look, reach out to me, Kristen, Kristen, at videomyjob.com. Happy to get you started with there it is. And yeah, I welcome a discussion and talk to your challenges and see whether you are in fact ready for a solution like ours.
All right. Well, thanks again. You be well. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be there first or you're going to be here first. But yeah, I hope to see you again before too long. I need a refresher on this thing.
Yeah. I'll send you a video. That's the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Be well.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.